Ah, so you finally returned. You who would seek the saltiest of breakdowns on this channel, hounding me endlessly for my thoughts, sponged from my brain farms where I hide all my collected knowledge. Are you prepared for the trials that await you? Do you know the path of the truly righteous Capcom fanboy from that of a filthy smasher? Well, that's too fucking bad actually, because my brain farms are woefully understocked right now. And as such, my only option is to give you the knowledge that I have on hand, which is limited in scope and wisdom at best. With EVO out of the way and only 4 months left in the year, it's pretty fucking obvious we won't be seeing a new balance patch for Street Fighter V until Season 4, because Capcom doesn't want you to enjoy anything in life, least of all their own games. With that said, let's talk about what needs to change about Street Fighter V way the fuck in advance, so if we're lucky, Ono-san will descend from the Capcom Flying Fortress, where all employees are shielded from negative opinions, kicking you repeatedly in the dick because patches are all that stands between him and his terrible vengeance upon the world. Netcode! Fucking Christ, Capcom, before we get into anything else, just fix your fucking goddamn netcode. I'm not even a network engineer, but if you want to pay me $100 grand a year to tell you that rollback netcode is supposed to hide lag and not add to it, yeah, I'm actually all for that. Can we do that? Abigail! This character got hit with the nerf stick pretty fucking hard in Season 3, and honestly, he feels pretty fair now. Just fix his goddamn hurtbox so it doesn't end where his shoulders begin. Seriously, he's the biggest character in the game and has the smallest proportional hurtbox, and that makes me angry in ways that you will take years to comprehend. Akuma! Akuma has kind of reached that point where he's so damn good that Capcom aren't even trying to hide how little they give a shit about whether you think he's balanced, which he isn't, or not. I'm not going to run down a laundry list of what needs to be changed. Instead, I'm just going to say that if Capcom wants to fix this walking justification for rhinoplasty, nerf his crush counter so it doesn't cause crumple state. Why on earth is he one of the only characters with a crush counter that's plus arm block and lets him do whatever the fuck he wants afterwards? Fuck. Alex. Alex is just fundamentally screwed because he's a character who falls in the category of anything he does, other characters do better. So Capcom can buff him all they want and he still won't be half as good as Mika, so why bother? Balrog. He's had his blatant thievery toned down, but he still hits like a bitch boat made of bitches. Wait, is that a thing? Am I having an aneurysm? Leave him as is, but probably tone down tap because it's still too fucking good, or I don't know. At this point, I think I can see the color of what toast smells like. Is that okay? Am I okay? Birdie! Headbutt is unsafe now, but it's almost impossible to punish, so what the fuck was the point of that, Capcom? He's kinda okay, but his neutral is crazy strong, so maybe dial that back a bit. Otherwise, you get Mena RD winning Capcom Cup and you're just forced to produce this costume, which I'm sure you in no way feel the slightest bit ashamed about. Blanca! Christ, this character is so obnoxious in every game he's in. Why do you make a character who just goes anywhere on the screen whenever he wants forever? Cammy! I don't feel like Cammy is really operating at a level where she needs to be right now. This might be the unpopular opinion, but she's extremely honest and has to work really hard to get in close. Maybe give her a projectile in Season 4? Call it cannon shot. Or maybe just give her a gun. Give Cammy a gun that causes bleed damage when someone gets shot, because that's how guns work. Also, you can't block it because it's a fucking bullet, you idiot. You probably think I'm joking at this point, but honestly, none of this would surprise me if it was revealed as legitimate changes for Season 4. Chun-Li! As a Jury main, I feel an odd kinship with Chun players. Maybe it's the fact their backstories are so closely interwoven. Maybe it's because Jury is the Joker to Chun's Batman. Or maybe it's because they're both trash characters with garbage frame data who can't do any damage to save their fucking lives! Cody! Too early to say. I probably made this video too soon to really properly judge the later Season 3 characters. But how the fuck else am I supposed to get the jump on Vesper Arcade in this YouTube world of likes and clickbait? Dalsim! I actually have no problem with Dalsim's astonishingly good V-Trigger 2, because Jury can just ignore it while she's feeding him his own rubbery elbows. But maybe turn that shit down for everyone else who has to walk the tightrope of getting past his flaming Indian bullshit. Ed is so derivative as a character, I honestly don't know where to start. Regardless, I think he's fine for what he does, which is being completely worthless in neutral until he throws out a random EX Psycho upper, and prays to any god who will listen that it actually connects. Falk. Delete this character. Delete this character, just delete her. then released free DLC where she has good animations, a hurtbox that isn't part of her stuff, a dive kick you can't punish on hit, and a fucking apology from Capcom Japan for ever foisting such a boring character upon us in the first place while demanding $5 for the privilege. Fang. I'm not gonna pretend I actually know how this character works. I never have. Just maybe make his poison a little bit more of a threat, since getting poisoned actually gives you more incentive to kick him in his overly large glass jaw. Wheelie. Nerf. Ibuki. The fact that I use Ibuki as a secondary has nothing to do with my belief that she's perfectly fine the way she is. In fact, maybe do something to make her V-Trigger 1 viable again, since the added bomb scaling has only ensured nobody ever uses it. Jewelry. Well, strap yourselves in, kids, because this might shock you, but I've got a lot to say here. Actually, I don't. Just fucking fix the scaling on our combos so they don't drop to 30% when you're not even halfway finished with them. Make medium kick Fuar and overhead. Stop the hitbox flickering on Tensinrin. Give her more than 4 buttons that aren't negative on bluff. Fix the pushback on Dan medium punch. Make her anti-airs consistent. Fix her V-Trigger 2, it's the most worthless V-Trigger in the game. You smug, about to be kidnapped for brain farm replenishment executives know it. Karin. I think she's fine, actually. Honestly, Season 3 made her pretty fair. However, to safeguard the future of balance patches, I have hidden the one designer who felt crush counter buttons with no risk attached should not be spammable and neutral, so that future generations of Capcom devs may one day apply his lessons to Akuma, saving humanity in the process. Oh shit, it's the Capcops. Fucking run, we gotta go, fucking go, we gotta go right now. Ken is in the unique position as a character that he rewards playing stupid more than anyone else in Street Fighter V. That actually doesn't bother me unless it works all the time, which for Ken players it does, because they have embraced the stupid, and now it is all that is keeping them alive. Colin, this girl is being slept on so hard it's actually ridiculous. Season 3 only made her better. That's less of a complaint and more of an observation so the Capcom don't buff her again, because she kinda looks like Cammy if you squint real hard, and that's all the reason Capcom needs to start handing out plus frames. Laura. She's obnoxious but fair. Look, I don't like being put in the blender any more than you do, but hey, I calls it like I sees it. M. Bison. A Bison player winning Evo will hopefully put Capcom on high alert to nerf the holy balls out of him, because Capcom beating Akuma is not only not canonically accurate, it's probably really bad for brand recognition as well. In any case, Bison is broke as fuck, and I'm shocked nobody has actually seen this before now. All his buttons are plus, he can hit you with frame traps for days, and if you get pushed out of range by blocking, he just uses EXs to get back in and do it all over again. Also, as a side note, I'd really like to meet the character designer who decided Bison needs a dash that has invincibility frames, and just run him over with my car. Menat. Capcom started Street Fighter V with a clear mission to remove zoning characters from the game. Then Menat was birthed from the womb of chaos, only to be given all the buffs that were ever given to anyone, and especially not the jury. Anyways, you can see where I'm going with this. Menat just breaks this whole fucking game in two, so just do something already. Nash. I actually hate this character, but he seems fine on paper, so just leave him alone. Pay no attention to the excited shrieks and broken promises of hordes who would tell you he needs a fully invincible reversal, for he does not. The man just gets to go anywhere he wants in the whole stage and has far more plus buttons than he actually deserves. Just be happy with what you got, kids. Nikali, just stop giving this guy costumes that make his hair take up half the fucking stage when he pops his V-Trigger. Can we talk about the costumes now? Why are there so many costumes that have giant appendages that have nothing to do with the character's hurtbox? This isn't a fucking bullet hell shooter, Capcom! Stop trying to make me find the boss's weak spot. Rashid. Again, he's fair. His neutral is far less suffocating than it was in Season 2, which is really the only nerf that he needed. Just give the man a Duff McWhalen costume to go with Airman, because while that character may be dead, his bitchin' sweet Monica lives on in our hearts. Rainbow Mika. To be fair, she's been hit with a nerf bat before, but she still feels stupid. Any character who can kill you in 3 mix-ups is goddamn unfair to me, and Mika fits that bill perfectly. Hybrid grapplers have been a problem for this game game since day one, and Mika continues to be the poster child for that ongoing problem. Ryu. There's a pervasive theory in the community that Capcom buff characters who have brand recognition like Akuma and Kami in order to make the game look more appealing to a casual audience. And honestly, the only reason I'm not 100% behind that theory is that Ryu has been a complete dumpster fire since season 2. But that's not even his fault. It's the game's fault for giving you character options like Ken and Akuma who do everything he does but just way the fuck better. Honestly, he needs a complete rebuild from the ground up, and that's pretty much it actually. Sakura. Capcom's lazy nerf to global V-trigger scaling had no effect on Sakura, who still dishes out atrocious amounts of damage on V-trigger confirms. So maybe take a look into that. Also make Like Tatsu -4 on block. Keeping it at -2 is only raising a generation of Sakura mains who think that Tatsu and an EXDP on block is a legitimate mix-up. Urien. Sadly, there's no patch that can fix stupid. And stupid is the only requirement you need to play Urien. Actually, you know what? I think Urien players should get an achievement if they actually manage to use Urien's critical art in a single round, because building 3 bars without spending them on random EXs or headbutts is clearly a challenge worth rewarding. Vega. I know I'm not really talking about technical things anymore, but can we just fix his face if he wins a round with his mask off? I know it's trivial, but I kinda picture that being his sex face, and after that I just feel really unclean and more aroused than I care to admit. Zangief. Yeef doesn't need any changes because nobody actually plays him anymore. I mean, does anyone still remember this guy? I sure do. Seriously, you could pull him from the roster and it would be months before anyone actually noticed. Also, give him back his banishing flat because fuck knows he needs it at this point. Zeku. He's fine. Just maybe have him start the round in his young form instead of the old one, because we all know that's the first thing every Zeku player does, and it could save us the hassle of just going through the motions. G and Sagat. If you're watching this in the future, G and Sagat only just came out, so there's nothing really to say right now. They seem fun, people like them, so yeah, good job Capcom. Even a broken clock can be right twice a day. Anyways, that is it. If you have any further things you think needed to be added to this conversation, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, do all those internet things, and come back tomorrow because I'll be posting a video that is about fighting games but actually has nothing to do with this. And if that doesn't sell you on subscribing to my channel, I don't know what will. Kisses, hugs, belly rubs. I'll see all of you very soon.